Hi, good afternoon. My name is Andrew Bastian. I'm the owner and chief instructor of Pikes Peak Tactical. I'm also a student with SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. Today we're going to be going over FTT 114's custom Kydex lab. From there we're going to be going over how to build a Kydex press. That way in later weeks we can go ahead and form some Kydex holsters. So let's get to it. First we're going to go over our materials. So we have our plywood right here. A couple different varying lengths, and we'll go over that whenever we're putting it together. One scrap 2x4. Well, technically two scrap 2x4s. One 2x4 we're going to use. Speed square. Make sure our angles are straight. Our hinge. 3-inch deck screws. I'm using 5 of these. And then we have, I believe, 9 1.25 inch screws. The bits associated. We have the countersink. And then the 2 drills. We're going to use this drill to drill our pilot holes. This drill has a little bit more torque, so we're going to use that to install the screws. Alright, so first things first. Our plywood. So we have one piece significantly longer than the other on the bottom. There's our bottom plate, our top plate, because they're going to be about spaced out. We have our foam for our Kydex press. Now, one thing to keep in mind about the foam is that we have a slick or a smooth and shiny side, and then we have a soft porous side. The soft porous side will face each other, because those will be the parts. Those will be the parts that form around the Kydex, or form around the the Kydex. So we have this here. So we're going to put a rough layout of what our press is going to look like. We're going to mark my arrow goes this way. So I cut down these sheets a little while ago. Want to make this a little bit faster for filming. Beautiful piece of wood right there. Now, what I'm going to do on this back side is I use my straight edge, butt up, make sure that this will be flat. Yep. So, because of the size of the foam, obviously there's going to be a small offset there. We're not going to worry about that yet, because we still have to set everything up. So let's set our foam for now. Place our scrap pieces of wood. And I'm going to align so make sure my back is straight. Align this. Okay. Once I have that straight, so there's already a small gap there, probably about 1/4 inch. Yep, 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is get my hinge. I set it here, and this I'm just roughing this out. And by roughing it out, I'm just trying to find out exactly where everything's going to sit. So that's square. There we go. That's square, and that's square. So this is roughly where my hinge will go, but I want to make sure it's going to have its full range of motion. So I'm going to move it back down there. I want the hinge to sit just, I want the pin of the hinge to sit just over that gap. So if this is where everything's going to go, use my pencil. I'll mark out my 4 holes here. The 1.25 inch screws are going to be holding this down, and then my 3-inch screws I'm going to put one here. One here, one here. So the 4 corners and then one in the center. That way it holds this block firmly together. The 3-inch screws will actually fit the whole length down. So I'm not going to worry about those. So I'm going to grind off anything that sticks out afterwards to make sure everything is nice and smooth. So let me mark these off too. I'm going to put pins, since there's a tag on the other side of that, here and here. So my first bit in is going to be for my 3-inch screws, so I'm going to drill those ones first. Oh, screw around and get some wood in my coffee. I'm going to put my countersink in. I'm going to countersink those holes. Do is I'm going to apply a decent little bit of wood glue on the edge here. With a little bit of pressure on it, I'm just going to just rough in where these go. Make sure that my bottom plate is still firmly where it needs to be. Make sure that's square. Clamp those down. Then, I'm just clamping it to make sure the wood seal or the wood sets or the wood glue sets. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3-inch screws. Alright, so I have the screw tips sitting up. All I'm going to do for that. Alright, now for our favorite part. So there's a couple schools of thought out there. Some people say that if you're planning, or if you will ever basically change the foam, then don't glue it, because then you got to worry about pulling it all out. So I'm not going to glue it. What I am going to do, however, let me see, just make sure how much room I got. Yep, okay. See, so I just want to make sure that's going to be able to close all the way and not have any issues. So, like I said, I'm not planning on gluing mine. The assignment calls for glue, but if these foam pads wear out, or if I ever want to upgrade to other ones or do anything else, then it's going to be stuck to the bottom. I'm going to have to scrape it out, resand it, refinish it all. Whereas this way, once your clamps are in, I mean, you know, your guesswork's done. Let me see, where's the... So I mean, we get that thing pretty flat, even without having to glue it on there. And what's nice too is afterwards, when we lift it, I can go in there, I can lift my lid, remove the foam on my Kydex right here. So there it is, quick and easy Kydex press.